From the outside, Sandra's life seemed perfect. She lived in a stylish apartment, worked a good job, and was known as a cheerful, smiling woman. But beneath the surface, she was weighed down by loneliness and the burden of her family's expectations. Her mother, Hannah, was particularly obsessed with Sandra having the perfect boyfriend. This pressure had kept Sandra from forming a real relationship for years. Her mother's constant criticism and comments about her poor choices chipped away at Sandra's confidence, making her doubt her own decisions. But everything was about to change one evening with a phone call from her mother. "Sandra Kum, your father and I are coming to the city tonight. We'll be staying at a hotel, but we can't wait to see you. Let's meet for dinner, okay?" Hannah's cheerful voice echoed through the phone. Sandra hung up, her heart racing with panic. Her parents, as always, would scrutinize every detail of her life. And, of course, she'd face the inevitable question, "Why are you still single?" This time, she wasn't prepared. For years, she'd spun lies to meet her mother's perfect son-in-law fantasies, inventing imaginary boyfriends. But this time, things would be different. In desperation, Sandra turned to the internet for a solution. On a friend's suggestion, she stumbled across an escort service. "I'll hire someone professional, fool my parents for one evening, and that'll be the end of it," she thought. She quickly selected a profile, Oliver. In the photos, he looked handsome, charismatic, and trustworthy. Without hesitation, Sandra made the booking and sent him a message. "Be at my place at 7 tonight. We'll discuss the details." At exactly 7 o'clock, the doorbell rang. Sandra took one last look in the mirror. Her hair was a mess, her face tense with nerves. When she opened the door, the man standing there was just like his photos. Tall, with slightly tousled brown hair, and a mischievous glint in his eyes. But Sandra had no time to waste. She got straight to the point. "Why are you so late?" she said, frowning. "Sorry, traffic." Oliver gave a calm smile and shrugged. "Anyway, what's this?" He held up a bag full of items, a few picture frames, a pair of men's shoes, a tie, and some books. Sandra replied, "I want you to scatter these around the apartment. Hurry, please. My parents are on their way. They could arrive any minute." Oliver raised an eyebrow, a playful smirk on his face. "Does that turn you on?" Sandra rolled her eyes. "This isn't the time for jokes, Oliver. My parents are coming, and you and I are going to pretend to be a happy couple who've been dating for 6 months. Got it? It's just one dinner, then they'll go back to their hotel. I'm paying you in cash, remember?" Oliver nodded. "All right, I get it. What's the story? Where did we meet? Who am I?" Sandra took a deep breath. "We met at a work party. You're a successful lawyer from a good family. And you're Jewish." Oliver paused. "But I'm not Jewish." "I know," Sandra said impatiently. "But my mom is, and it's a big plus for her. Please, just play the part for tonight. My mom is obsessed with her daughter having the perfect boyfriend. If we get through this evening, everything will be fine." Oliver smiled faintly. "Okay, Sandra, I'll save you. But what's with your hair? It's like it's nailed to your head." Sandra glanced in the mirror, smoothing her hair. "Is it that bad?" "Nah, I'm kidding. You look great. Let's get started." Hannah and Stephen arrived at Sandra's apartment, and things were not going as planned. Hannah, as usual, scrutinized every detail, commenting on everything from Sandra's posture to the arrangement of the dinner table. Stephen, on the other hand, was calmer but equally curious. Oliver quickly adapted to his role. He introduced himself as a successful lawyer and recounted their meeting. "We met at a work party. Sandra had such a beautiful smile, I couldn't help but approach her. Then we went for a walk in the park and talked until midnight." Hannah, narrowing her eyes, asked, "In the park? Sandra, you love park walks, don't you?" Sandra forced a tense smile. "Yes, Mom, I adore them." As dinner progressed, Hannah's questions were relentless. What happened next? How long have you been together? What have you done? Oliver came to Sandra's rescue. "We did something different every day. We had Chinese food, an English breakfast, a French dinner with champagne and strawberries. We made every moment special." Sandra was astonished at how effortlessly Oliver lied. But Hannah's next question cornered them both. Where are your photos? Come on, let's see them. Sandra froze. Photos? She hadn't even thought of that. Oliver calmly said, "Of course we have them, but the film is being developed. We'll pick them up tomorrow." Hannah raised an eyebrow. Tomorrow? Well, then we'll be here tomorrow. We're not staying at the hotel, Sandra. We're staying with you. Sandra's heart nearly stopped. What? But Mom, your hotel reservation. We canceled it, Hannah said firmly. I can't wait to see those photos tomorrow. And Oliver, I want to taste your cooking. Sandra, this boy is a treasure. Sandra shot Oliver a desperate look. This was supposed to be just one dinner, but now they had to keep up the charade all night. Worse, Oliver would have to sleep in her room. That night, alone in the bedroom, Sandra whispered to Oliver, "What was that? My parents are staying here, and you're sleeping in my room. This is a complete disaster." Oliver sat calmly on the edge of the bed. Relax, Sandra. We'll figure it out. But let me say, your parents are great people. Maybe you don't have to lie to them this much. Sandra, exasperated, snapped, What? Should I tell them the truth? Hey, Mom, I hired this guy online. He's not a lawyer, probably a waiter. Oliver chuckled softly. Actually, I'm a cook. I work at a small restaurant. Escorting is just a side gig, temporary. And I think your parents love you more than you realize. Sandra paused for a moment. Oliver's sincerity caught her off guard. Okay, so what do we do now? There are no photos, and my mom expects to see them tomorrow. Oliver thoughtfully suggested, We make a plan. We'll take photos that look like they were from different days. We'll grab quick meals, change outfits, snap pictures at a few places. Problem solved. Sandra, reluctantly, agreed. Fine, but I'm paying you double. This is getting way too complicated. Oliver nodded. Deal. The next morning, Sandra and Oliver rolled up their sleeves to put the plan into action. They went to a fast food joint in the city, ordered Chinese food, then had an English breakfast at a cafe. At every stop, Oliver came up with creative ideas. They posed hand in hand in a park, and with the help of a street performer, they staged a French-style dinner scene. Sandra, though initially tense, began to relax thanks to Oliver's cheerful demeanor and knack for improvisation. At one point, while taking photos by a lake, Oliver turned to Sandra. You know, even these fake dates are fun. What if we went on a real one? Sandra laughed in disbelief. What? Are you serious? I was, Oliver said, a sincere spark in his eyes. Spending time with you? It's different. Fun. And I think you feel it too. Sandra paused for a moment. Oliver's words stirred a feeling she had suppressed for years. Her mother's expectations had kept her from relationships for so long. But Oliver spoke to her as she was, without judgment, offering support instead. For the first time, someone made her feel truly present. At dinner, Hannah and Stephen were enchanted by the photos. Sandra, you and Oliver make such a wonderful couple, Hannah said, her eyes gleaming. And Oliver, your cooking is amazing. You two should get married. Sandra, panicking, blurted, Mom, please, marriage? I'm not ready for that. Hannah frowned. What do you mean, not ready? Look at Oliver. He's the perfect son-in-law. Sandra couldn't take it anymore. The lies, the pressure, it all exploded. Mom, enough! Oliver isn't my fiancé. I hired him online. He's an escort. I don't have a real boyfriend because you always criticize my choices. I'm terrified I'll never find someone you approve of. The room fell silent, so tense it could be cut with a knife. Hannah, in shock, stammered, What did you say? Oliver stood quietly. Sandra's telling the truth. I'm an escort. But let me say this. Sandra is an incredible woman, smart, kind, and honest. It would be an honor to go out with her, but she doesn't feel free because of you. Stephen suddenly spoke up. Hannah, calm down. Look at Sandra. Our daughter is unhappy. And you know what? I was once just an ordinary guy. I cleaned toilets, remember? But I worked hard for you, and I succeeded. Let Sandra choose her own path. Hannah went quiet for a moment. Then, with tears in her eyes, she said, Sandra, I'm sorry for making you feel this way. I just wanted you to be happy." Sandra couldn't hold back her tears. "Mom, I just want to be myself." That evening, Sandra and Oliver met again by the lake. With a shy smile, Sandra said, "Oliver, you mentioned a real date. My answer is yes." Oliver grinned. "But will it be double the rate this time?" Sandra burst out laughing. "No, this time it's free, because it's real." From that day on, Sandra and Oliver sailed from a fake story into a real love. Sandra, freed from her mother's expectations, began to carve her own path. And Oliver, by her side, was no longer just a cook or an escort. He was the man who changed Sandra's life. Friends, if Sandra and Oliver's emotional journey from a fake plan to true love touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for brand new stories filled with love, relationships, and life surprises. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. You can support us by liking this video and sharing it with your friends. Let us know in the comments what you would do if you were in Sandra's shoes. See you in the next story. Stay with love.